What's up, y'all? It's Deep Talk with T, episode 13. I just wanted to encourage y'all today to find you some answers. Find you some answers. That's what today's Deep Talk with T is about. Whatever you got questions about. And everybody always got some questions about something. Small shit, bullshit, deep shit, life-altering shit. Shit that takes a quick search on Google, and some shit that may take you a whole bunch of soul searching. And a whole bunch of book reading and conversing with different types of folks and asking questions. But find you some answers. My life has been a progression of questions and answers. And I think that's the case for everybody, because we all come into this world with questions. I don't think anybody can say they've ever met a child that didn't ask a question. And as people get older, there are consequences to asking questions. You may get looked at as stupid. The question that you ask don't make sense to somebody else, or the answer seems obvious to them. People stop liking to ask questions, and they stop being curious. And that's a tragedy, because that's a death. That's the death of a part of yourself. What's the difference? I'm gonna ask you this without forcing an answer on you. But what's the difference between a body and a corpse? Like a live body. And I know some people will answer scientifically. They'll say the brain activity functioning, the vital organs functioning. But what makes that function? What's the difference between, like, what's there, or what's the difference between a brain that's functioning and a brain that's not, and vital organs that are functioning and vital organs that aren't, and a person that's able to walk and talk and breathe and engage versus a person that's not? Obviously, the brain is connected to the body inside it and has a whole lot to do with everything that goes on as far as its functioning. But if it was just the brain, then why would the brain by itself not be enough? Why does the brain deteriorate at some point and become nothing? Essentially, goes back to the ashes that or disintegrates, again, dissolves into the nothingness that it was before, the no thingness that it was before. This is Metaphysics, this is deep philosophical talk, but this is Deep Talk with T, and that's where we go with it. I would again posit, suggest, propose, and answer that everything comes from the same thing. No thing, nothing. I would say that quantum physics supports the idea that what we can't touch, what is intangible to our senses, as far as smell, taste, sight, the ability to hear, what is not perceivable from the senses, is what we all come from. This canvas of consciousness that I talk about in the first video about enlightenment, and in the video about meditation, and really in all these videos when I'm talking about our you, ourselves, our ultimate self, the self of that animates all of this. And this is getting into personal cosmology and how I see the world, but to dial it on back about finding answers. Whenever you have a question, there's a reason for it. Whatever that reason is, or multiple reasons, the question being answered can guide you somewhere that you wouldn't have been able to just get to on your own by suggesting something, but by seeking an answer to the question that you have, and then finding that answer, you come to a new place of understanding. In the world of society, we give degrees for shit like that. You ask enough questions and you answer enough of them, or you get asked enough questions and you answer enough of them, you get pieces of paper that validate your intelligence, supposedly. There are deeper questions in life than the ones that get asked in schools. Ask not to let me, before I get too far ahead of myself, schools can ask some very deep questions. Some of the deepest life-changing questions I've ever had come from school. So this is not to throw out school, but because not every school has metaphysics class or asks deep introspective questions about the nature of self, some of these things don't get brought up. And I think it is in a lot of human nature is plagued by laziness. And as opposed to being oriented towards taking the more difficult path and finding pleasure in that, a lot of people are more oriented, especially in this day and age of comfort, of technological advancements, are more oriented towards the easier route and the more pleasurable route. They find more pleasure in the easier route, because you can orient what you find pleasurable. You can orient yourself to what you find pleasurable. And I'm encouraging you to orient yourself to asking the hard questions, the deeper questions about life that you may have already, but don't actively seek answers on. And I'm encouraging you to find you some answers. And how? How do you go about finding answers, T? Find them in workouts. Exercise is a huge way to find answers. Don't just throw some fucking headphones in and hop on a treadmill for 20 minutes and call that an exercise. Do something that actually physically taxes you. And don't just listen to music while you do it. Be present with your body as you put it through something like that. Be present with your mind and the thoughts that come up. Be present with your emotions and what you feel as you work through something physically arduous. And see what kind of answers you get, because I guarantee you unlock things. Anybody who works out can guarantee you that. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody, and fuck asking somebody, figure it out for yourself by getting a sweat in. Doing something that, whether or not if you can't find something that you feel like or you haven't found something that you feel like you like to do physically, keep looking. Make exercise fun for yourself, but get some in your life, not just for the vanity of it, but to find you some answers. Because that's really what it comes down to. In your daily practice of how you program your days, what you find pleasurable and how you find your answers, you ain't gonna find no answers in the bottom of a bottle. I can't guarantee you that. However you find your answers, find them. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna go too deep into a non-drinking rant. Having ways of finding answers that actually fucking work and don't leave you feeling shittier than you did when you started to do that process of finding the answer, that's what it's about. And there's many ways to do it. It's not just working out. Read you a book. Research something that you're interested in. If you're curious about something or inclined to do something, don't just half-step about it, or don't stay on the fence about not doing it because you're scared. This is where it comes back to raising the bar, because anything that you do, you're going to acclimate to. If you make a certain amount of money, you're going to acclimate to that money. You may want more if that's your MO. If that's what's driving you, you're going to always want more. If you are about anything that you're about is going to acclimate. If you're an exercise person, you're going to get to a point where certain workouts that used to give you your answers and used to give you that feeling of a pump and a sweat and the strenuousness that you wanted to feel, that's not going to give it to you anymore, and you have to either change up the workout or you have to add something to it. Whatever it is, there's no stagnant points in life, and I've emphasized that in every video. That is the point of raising the bar, because you acclimate. So you have to stay fresh. You have to stay present. That's how you stay fresh. Babies are fully present. Kids are fully present. They're inundated with so much shit that they don't know how to be present. All they know how is to be present. That's the only way that they can learn. They soak up everything because they're so present. It's the same way with dogs and shit. Like, especially puppies. They're just so present. because they need to, sometimes you can't, it's difficult to try to rein it in because of the energy and the ability, the propensity to get distracted about whatever you're seeing, and being, again, humans being visual creatures, being drawn by what we see out here. But even if you, again, at a certain point, the questions that you ask start to change based on the answers that you get. And if you have found satisfactory answers to certain questions, then it's time to ask new questions. Each question and answer begets a new question, a new answer. There's no stopping points in life. There's no stagnancy. There's no ending, oh, now we're here, we're done. You won the Super Bowl 10 times? Cool. What are you going to do once you retire, buddy? Because you still got a life. You made millions of dollars and billions of dollars? Cool, buddy. Are you still alive? What are we going to do today? That's what having a daily program is important, and having something that, regardless of what's going on, you can have some consistency in your ability to level yourself up. And that's what exercise is, again. It's about finding answers. It's about being able to induce a level up. So, find you some answers. Remember that you are going to acclimate. So if you start off, if it's drinking, you're going to acclimate to a certain amount. If it's smoking, you're going to acclimate to a certain amount. If it's money, you're going to acclimate to a certain amount. If it's women, you're going to acclimate to a certain amount. So choose consciously what you give your attention to, what you're curious about, what you finding your answers about, what you're building in your, as far as your life circumstances. And do it your way. Find you some answers. Find you your answers. Much love.